Almost something unexpected just happened live on Arise News today, and this is coming straight from what is happening in Nigeria right now, in our economy, our politics, and our daily lives. During the program, a lot was discussed, from the economic state of the country to the welfare of ordinary citizens and the political moves shaping 2027. But here's the thing that is causing the most noise. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been borrowing loan after loan, and some Nigerians have genuinely had enough. It got so serious that the World Bank had to lock their Instagram comment section. Why? Because Nigerians flooded it with one message: stop giving our president loans. We the citizens are the ones suffering. And the painful truth is, even if the World Bank gives him the loan, ordinary Nigerians are still the ones who will pay this back. Now, this video is not here to attack or criticize anyone. I'm simply here to keep you updated on what is happening because you deserve to know. If you enjoy honest breakdowns like this, like this video, drop your honest thoughts in the comments, subscribe and turn on your notifications. Now take a listen.
And the news that is on top of the trends is Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde officially declaring his intention to run for president. And he did it with a rally that turned the historic Mapo Hall in Ibadan into a political carnival yesterday.
We are all here at this mega rally to announce the grand alliance between the People's Democratic Party and the Allied People's Movement. Ibadan is the city of warriors. Hi, Oluseyi Abiodun Makinde, FNSC, announce my candidacy for the position of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Now, the 2027 presidential race just got more interesting. A sitting PDP governor just declared he's running for president under the Allied People's Movement platform while maintaining his PDP governorship. While Makinde is saying that the PDP-APM alliance is just the first step towards a broader opposition coalition. Some have said that this is opposition realignment in real time, and that Makinde is positioning himself early, building a coalition, and sending a clear signal to the ruling APC that the 2027 won't be a walkover. But what has been the reaction? Well, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike was quick to dismiss Makinde's claims of a potential APM-PDP alliance, calling it 419, saying that as of today, there is absolutely no alliance between both parties, and that Makinde is essentially trying to trick Nigerians into the belief that there is. Let's take a look.
PDP has presented a position as would present presidential candidate, and watch out who will be submitted to INEC and see where there's anything called APM, PDP, APM. So please. We said it, and we know Bala has gone to APM. Bala has never said anything called PDP, APM. Instead of him to come out to say he had joined the APM, maybe those of his supporters, if they ever remain in PDP in Ibadan, so we may be taking them along. That's what he's calling a PDP, APM alliance. It's unfortunate, and we know that that's been his game plan. I would say you cannot fly the flag of PDP. So please tell Nigerians that there's nothing called PDP.
All right, Wike's comments have also generated mixed reactions online, calling out his own double standard, given his proximities to the All Progressives Congress and President Tinubu's administration. More on presidential aspirants with former Transport Minister and African Democratic Congress chieftain Rotimi Amaechi stating on Thursday that if he's elected as president, he will transform Nigeria in just 4 years.
What we're seeing currently is that nearly everybody who is running for the office of the president has served Nigeria in one way or the other. Let it be a referendum in the sense that, judge us by what we have done. If we have performed, whoever has outperformed the other, vote for the person. The next thing is who is capable of delivering the votes, who is capable of beating the incumbent president, who has the experience. I believe I'm the most experienced.
Comments like this before with, Nigeria Democratic Congress chieftain. Even Peter Obi repeatedly stating in interviews that he'd only want and need to be a one-time president, saying that he would not stay even longer than a day. I'd like for you to unpack all the stories, starting from Seyi Makinde declaring on APM PDP, I don't even know what to call it, APM PDP platform that he wants to run for president. And we are hearing Wike calling it a fraud or a 419 scam. And obviously, with that double standard glaring at us. And of course, we saw Rotimi Amaechi there saying also that he's about the youngest candidate at this point. Your thoughts?
Okay, Oji. Based on facts, I don't think Seyi Makinde's declaration was a fraud, but Wike has a point. Because while we're talking to the last case, we had to check online. And this, after the Supreme Court judgment, INEC has not affected anything, so we've not seen anything. The people loyal to Wike still have their people out there on the INEC list. That's based on facts. But with the Seyi Makinde declaration, you can see, yes, there's an alliance with the Turaki faction, but it's going to be on the APM ticket, and APM is a valid registered party. So if the stars align, if he wins the primary or they do a consensus, definitely Seyi can be on the ballot as regards that. While Wike can still get somebody that he's going to put in there anyway, a lesser force, because Wike has come out to say he's backing President Tinubu. I mean, I don't know how amphibious you can be in the PDP and you're backing a president in the APC, but he's made no bones about it. Also, another dynamic I want to bring about is the destruction of what my very good friend and brother Bwala will call the Jackson 5. Because don't forget, Amaechi, what's it called? Seyi Makinde and Wike were part of those that went against Atiku Abubakar. They were part of the 5 allied governors in the PDP that said no to Atiku Abubakar then over the second time ambition. So the Jackson 5 now has now become the Jackson splits. Because Makinde, on one hand, is running solo now and is against President Tinubu on this, which political watchers, I know I've seen some people in the APC say, Rufai, you don't know what you are saying. President Tinubu goes to beat him. Yorubas would rather give their own son a second term. But my argument will be this. See, Makinde is incumbent governor. He played a role in President Tinubu getting there in the first place when President Tinubu was not even president. Federal might versus incumbent governor, we'll see who can play the politics better. But for you to tell me on God's earth that Makinde is not going to shave some votes off that President Tinubu will normally get in Oyo State.
I'm sure he would, for sure. I mean, look at that man.
So those that are saying is going to, what's it called? Forget it. And also, the dynamics in Oyo is quite very scattered because there are some strong contenders on the Accord Party. I keep talking about Oriyomi Hamzat because I go to Ibadan a lot. I'm in the grassroots. Oriyomi Hamzat has a big following. He's also in the Accord Party. So let's see how that dynamics will pan out. And for the very first time, and for the very first time, you have, I know kings are not supposed to pass that, but you have a former governor and a political juggernaut as Olubadan. That dynamics is also there. So for the very first time, anyway, okay, the last one too was, I think played some level of politics, was also his, but that dynamic is also there, and he was a former governor. So we are seeing all of that. Then coming forward to Amaechi, I mean, what do you expect him to say? What is a politician? He will say he's the youngest. He will say anything. He wants to curry votes. But it is the people that will decide. By saying he's the most experienced at the youngest, doesn't mean he's going to beat Atiku in this ADC primary. I doubt. If Amaechi beats Atiku in this ADC primary, it will be a miracle. For those that are saying they are going to do one...
You mean if Atiku beats Amaechi?
If Amaechi beats Atiku, okay, it will be a miracle. But because, like I said before, it's not pretty much done and done. Maybe he might get something as regards maybe a running mate on all of that, if Atiku is magnanimous enough and they can work it around themselves. Ayatollah is also there, but I don't pretty much... I think Ayatollah will just pretty much pivot, with the Atiku line. I might not be correct on that. But for people that are saying that they are going to do one term, politicians will say a lot of things, but let's be realistic, it's going to be difficult. Mr. Peter Obi, there's a difference between putting a gun to your head and pressure from your people. Because that's when people of the Southeast will now rightfully say that, the only time we finally got a chance to do something, you're saying you want to do a one term. Because when you look at it, Jonathan too said the same. It's not that he didn't want to do a one term. But there's also the factor of the fact that the seat is sweet. I think it was Jeffrey Ngore, one of the former Ugandan presidents, that when he got to the seat, he said the seat is sweet. When you also start to see the pegs of the seat, it's sweet. So it's very
But there's
hard.
Nothing wrong with doing
one term. But the last leg of my analysis is, Amaechi has a strong point.
Okay.
You know why? And the argument I will make is, till today, we forget in a hurry that Lateef Jakonde only did 4 years. Can you tell me anybody that since Lateef Jakonde left has been able to surpass Lateef Jakonde in length and breadth of achievements since that 4 years he did?
All right. The race is on. Let the best man win. Let's take another story now. It appears the World Bank has restricted comments on its Instagram page after thousands of Nigerians flooded the platform, begging them to stop lending money to the federal government of Nigeria. The digital protest erupted after reports that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is seeking a fresh $1.25 billion World Bank loan for approval on June 26th, just 6 months before the 2027 election. Nigerians stormed the page with one message: stop borrowing our leaders' money. Let's take a look at some of the tweets. Martins wrote on X, Stop giving Tinubu loan. Tinubu's achievements so far. 1, expensive fuel, expensive food, expensive electricity, weak naira, rising insecurity, growing poverty, endless propaganda. Olaiton wrote on X, the money are being used for personal interest, not for the country. It is being used for their election, not for the country. Hear the masses cry, and please don't grant them the loan because we, the masses, will still suffer it. I'm sure you saw that, Adefemi, the hashtag, stop borrowing Tinubu loan. Well, just days ago, Tinubu announced Nigeria will spend $11.6 billion on debt servicing in 2026, nearly half of projected revenue. Now he's seeking another $1.25 billion loan. And the World Bank's response to frustrated Nigerians is to lock the comments. Well, an institution that preaches transparency just silenced the very people whose futures are being mortgaged. I mean, this is such a complex story, Adefemi. Just to put it in context, the loan is called Nigeria Actions for Investment and Jobs Acceleration, which the government says would support economic reforms, improve electricity, agriculture, and job creation. At the current exchange rate, the proposed $1.25 billion translates to around 1.70 trillion naira. Just to put it in context, how much external financing this administration is seeking amid extreme economic reforms and citizens' hardship. Your thoughts?
It's quite tough. Okay, so firstly, I think just as human beings, as Nigerians, it's very important that we don't conflate our thoughts as facts, right?
Yes.
Because this is a legitimate loan request, and as you've just read, this is the purpose of said loan. Yeah. Nigerians have every right to feel concerned, angered even, with the rate of borrowing in this country because it is staggering. We actually had an entire guest segment on this topic earlier today. So it is legitimate that people should be and can be concerned. You are entitled to it. What I want to say about the comments being logged, do you know how many comments you would have to leave under a post for that page to say, actually, we're just going to stop?
Must be a lot. You know how many
Must
Nigerians?
Be a lot.
Yeah.
And there are many Nigerians,
yes.
right? So I can understand the frustration from the second tweet, or even your analysis there where you said that, you know, it shouldn't be the case that the World Bank are locking comments and making people struggle to have their point put across. That shouldn't be the case. But I think this is also an example of the fact that the World Bank did hear what Nigerians have to say. Mm-hmm. And it's not a situation of them saying, we're now no longer going to borrow your president. It just doesn't work in that way. But Nigerians have every right to feel concerned about it. But I don't think the narrative should be this money is being used to fund personal ambition or personal gain. I don't think that's correct.
It's your turn to speak, but you wanted to add something.
I think it's misplaced what Nigerians do. It's not the World Bank you should go to. Yeah. What you should do is get your lawmakers, as we speak, call them, get their number, bombard them with messages and say, when they bring this loan to the ground of the National Assembly, don't approve it, reject it. So it's not the World Bank. Go to your lawmakers.
All right.
Those are the people you elected. That's your voice there.
Well, all right.